Hello everybody, my name's Toby, and I hope, like me, you're counting down a little bit to the festive season. We're well over 60, 70 entries in the Christmas decorating contest, which pulled up today. We'll be doing the judging on Monday, the 23rd. I'll let you know who's gained those prizes, but more importantly, what an exciting opportunity to celebrate the creativity in the organisation and bring a little bit of joy as well. Now, I'm going to talk about voice in this vlog, and I've got to be honest, I'm not going to talk much about staff voice. We've talked before in these messages about our staff survey, where 56, 57% of people filled it in. Look forward to seeing those results shortly, and to other things like our Trust People Council, which are really important ways of hearing from you about the culture that we're co-creating in our organisation. What I wanted to do is talk today about how we hear from our patients, our carers, and our communities. And I guess there's a dual focus to that for me. We've been making real strides with transforming our Council of Governors. It was fantastic the other day in the Unity Centre in Rotherham to see a full room with rich diversity of experience and background, not just among our new 6 staff governors, but also among those representing the patients, public and partners in our organisation. Governors, of course, now sit on all of our board committees, and they play a really vital role, to be honest, in keeping it real in the senior leadership of the organisation. So thank you already to the governors for the work we're going to do together. And it is really important that we have patience increasingly on all of our senior decision-making committees, because of course with Promise 5, one of the things we committed was to sort of end the NHS tradition where we periodically and sincerely ask patients what they think and then run off and do our thing, and instead to create I guess you'd call it a continuous conversation. And what I'm finding in the meetings that I'm part of, or the equity and inclusion group that I chair, is that participation of our patients changes the agenda that we set, changes the things that we talk about. We've got a long way to go making Promise 5 meaningful across our organisation, but big changes like the inclusion of our youth forum representatives within the Council of Governors and changing the age range of our membership, or these smaller adjustments that I've touched on, I think are putting us on a better footing. Now, I've talked here before about care opinion, and care opinion is going to be absolutely at the heart as we go through 2025 of how we organise and manage our organisation, how we make sure that we're hearing from our patients. And on the screen as I'm talking are some illustrative examples of the many hundreds of comments we've already had about our services through care opinion. Now, some of our services really embrace this. The long COVID service, for example, or our 0 to 19 children's services in physical health. But there are still opportunities to go further, whether it's through the use of care opinion on a paper basis or through the app. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I don't know much about care opinion, please reach out locally to understand how it's working where you work. Go online using the link, or chat to Stuart Green or Paula Ryler, who've been helping our local leadership teams to put this in place. I guess for me, what's really striking about the care opinion tool and about the comments we get is it's not all the conversation about change. Of course, there are some things in that feedback that we need to act on and respond to, and the standard that our care group directors have set is that we will always respond within 7 days. But it's also so important that we use these comments to understand, particularly at a senior leadership level, particularly in the board, what we need to keep and what we need to nurture, what really matters to our patients. What I see in these comments is praise for professionalism, for compassion, for kindness, for being held and listened to. And of course, as we go through the year ahead, with all the changes that will doubtless come nationally and locally, it's really important to me, and I hope it's really important to you, that we try and preserve that time to care, that opportunity to look somebody in the eye, to listen to them, to hear the issues they want to talk about, and where possible to provide support, care, and advice. So Care Opinion then, I think, has huge potential to help us, not just to have large quantities of feedback, but to really get to that richness. Lean into it if you haven't already, and thank you so much if you're one of our 300 people across the organisation who are trained as responders. Now, next week, we'll have a real focus on how we're getting on with flu. We're doing very well, but you will have seen a huge rise in the number of people who are being admitted to hospitals 4 times previous years with flu. This is a serious illness with potentially very serious implications. So if you're listening to this and you're working, say, Laurel Ward or our Home First team in Doncaster, Talking Therapies in Rotherham, there's still time to get your flu vaccination. Please do. It's so important to the health of our communities and our colleagues. Cheers.